week playing for that money as always, but more importantly, those placement points, which are adding up pretty fast. We have our first semi-final coming up, which is going to be PXP at f0xy Grampa versus STB, MrAquary. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup because these guys actually fought in, I believe, last week's Challenger Cup. I want to say last week's Challenger Cup. And Aquary...
The week that f0xy was allowed to enter, because that was the week he didn't make top 8, because it was the first. So second, I want to say? The second Challenger Cup? Surely it must have been. Basically,
when these guys fought in the Challenger Cup that f0xy was able to enter, Aquary actually took him out and beat him in the Challenger Cup. So we have seen what Aquary can do today. We saw a fantastic display of Demo Sonya, some really crazy tech. Obviously, we've seen a lot of tech because of players like Scar and Ayase kind of showing us what Demo can do anyway. But Aquary putting it to good use. And to be honest, I think impressing everybody tonight.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that level of play from Aquary, so I will hold my hands up and just admit that I was wrong about my expectations. He's pleasantly surprised all of us. And if he can continue this momentum and take out f0xy Grampa, he will be the wild card for the rest of the EU League. If he can do this and take out f0xy, who is currently undefeated in Season 3 of the Pro League, I mean, notice I said the Pro League, not the Challenger Cups, then that is going to be quite a bragging right to move forward with.
Everyone wants to end a streak. I mean, there's only one more streak to end, really, which is f0xy's winning streak. I mean, on the North American side, I mean, huge shouts to Yomi Slayer, who took out Sonic Fox this week, getting into top 8, and Yomi Michelangelo, who took out UA Scar. Well, actually, no longer UA Scar. He's a free agent nowadays. Who took out Scar, I believe, 3-0. So these strong players that have had very dominant runs. And even this week, actually, Madden getting taken out round 1 by Iris Manis. There's been a lot of what you could consider upsets nowadays, where, you know, it's been interesting.
But
and the only player that's left... I'll let you say. I'll say the only player that's left to defeat right now is f0xy.
That is exactly what I was going to say, though. We've seen in NA, we've seen Sonic Fox was taken out. Scar was taking out, Wound Cowboy was taking out, and now we've got Madden's been taking out. So f0xy Grampa is currently the only real player left in the league this week that has this phenomenal streak on the go. So if he loses it now, this will be week 4 will be the week that the Titans fell.
I mean, I'm actually really excited to see the match because we've actually seen f0xy fight. We actually compared Aquary's cover ops to Harry Nightmare's. When we saw last week, f0xy and Harry Nightmare had to fight. f0xy very convincingly took out Harry Nightmare. Now, the question is, if Aquary goes for Demo, what's the matchup we're going to see? Are we going to see this sort of impatient dive kick heavy Sonya?
I think Aquary is beyond that at this point. He has refined his play. He is not the same player that we saw in Season 1. He has increased his level of play exponentially. Absolutely incredible play right now from him today. And if he continues it against f0xy, then he could take this.
Okay, so obviously f0xy going back to the tried and tested piercing Melina. I actually found out this costume is his favorite Melina costume too. I mean, I never really knew. I mean, he had a Tempest Lao. That was Tempest Revenant Lao. That was his kind of go-to costume of choice. But with Melina, it seems to be, I can't even remember the name. It's this one. The one with the cool headdress. And a workout Sonya for MrAquary.
So we're on the pit 2 again. Not really going to make that much difference. I mean, to be fair, we don't really see f0xy utilize interactions at all for the most part.
And I like the idea of running in there because Aquary, although he has got some grenades stocked, it's actually quite risky for f0xy to go for the instant dash in after a break, because if Aquary just so happened to throw a grenade, that would have caught the forward dash. All runs in, tries to get the jailing. Good pressure again, good block on the low, and here comes f0xy, gets the overhead, and he's going to have to opt to go for a safe reload. Isn't going to get much damage out of that hit.
But does at least manage to bag himself a reload, but he's going to get hit straight up, can't break. Going to eat this damage for free, 35% damage, yes we go. Aquary looking pretty bad right now in the round, but gets a dive kick. This could be the turnaround, at the very least, forces a breaker out of f0xy.
Oh no, I mean, you know what? I actually think he might have got a clean jump in had he committed to the jumping punch rather than the slightly slower startup of the dive kick.
I mean, f0xy did just break, so that was a wonderful position to hit him again. No stamina, no meter, but is going to get hit by this staggered.
Once again, f0xy with that piercing Melina sticking you on a grid with those plus frames. Nice catch to back 1-2 roll. And that's going to be for good damage once again. Now, Aquary has an X-ray. And if anything's taught us anything, Sonya with an X-ray is quite dangerous.
But again, that was Season 1 Aquary. Whether he's still like that, I'm not sure. It was a very, very risky read doing your X-ray for the extra parry.
Goes in for the meter burn restand, blocks the 50-50, gets it again. f0xy goes in for the meterless roll though, just to interrupt that.
Oh, there's a dive kick. Keeps himself safe, but that could be it.
Oh, he's still alive, ever so slightly, but here comes f0xy, gets the roll just to convert. And I think f0xy has listened to us saying, man, he's dropping that brutality a lot. And now he's finding loads of different ways to not drop it.
Now, Aquary's getting himself some good situations right now. It's just I don't know. It's just in the neutral, Foxy is just doing what Foxy does and is just really controlling the pace of the match in general. He's shutting you down. I mean, something Foxy said about his Melina play that definitely reigns true against the majority of the people he fights is, I want to find out how you get in on Psy and how you deal with back 1-2 on block. And as soon as I figured out what you're doing for that, I make it my mission to just shut that down as fast as possible. That's how Foxy plays. He establishes the full screen side game because he's got his counter zoning, so he doesn't usually have to worry about you throwing stuff back because he knows it's a problem. And as soon as you get in on the sides, he's got back 1-2 range. So he wants to find out how you deal with the fast screen game, how you deal with the point blank game, and then he makes it his just life's goal to just deal with that as fast as possible.
Now that's kind of the patented sort of Melina step back. Just taking that small walk back on prediction of you pressing a button, trying to secure the first hit. MrAquary goes in for an instant dive kick to try and secure it, but even that whiffs against the Melina walk back. Good block on the overhead there, and right there, Foxy with the matchup knowledge, knowing that you can armor reverse all those grenade tosses.
I mean, Foxy always thinks himself so pretty. Wow, a rare dive kick in the neutral out of nowhere, but it's going to connect. That's the thing. As soon as you get Foxy, normally quite a safe player, as soon as he does something punishable that you don't expect, you have to be ready to make him pay for it. Because if you're not going to make him pay, he's going to do it more often. You have to condition him.
Here's the dangerous situation. The machine gun size that we see Foxy go for is going to stop MrAquary from going for that reload almost all the time. And
wow,
Demolition with no opportunity to reload is not a great situation to be in. Catches the low again, and that's very plus on hit. Tries to go in for the meter burn just to catch him. Foxy gets tagged, has to use that time to go for a safe reload, and he does make the good call there.
Question is, how much is he going to be able to utilize here? Because that's one grenade gone. Oh, there we go. Actually gets the punish this time. 2 grenades, 3 grenades, has to reload. 21% damage, not a lot. Oh, wow, that was a wonderful read from MrAquary.
Good chase down, is going to go for the splat. Again into the safe reload, but gets tagged by the rawest of ball rolls.
Now he's sitting at a breaker now, but has to be careful.
Oh no,
he
spent
isn't.
a bar and didn't get anything off it. Very unfortunate. Delays the dive kick. Foxy ready. The grab's not going to kill, but the Oki might.
Oh, there's the duck. No, misses a throw, and that is everything. MrAquary got the perfect read, but no.
He had no grenades. He had no grenades to make anything off of it. So unfortunate there for MrAquary. Gets the punish, but just doesn't have any resources to make the damage. You can see he tried to go in for the low there, but just didn't get anything off it. Very unfortunate.
I mean, as soon as we saw him use the bar on the grenade and he got stuffed out, we were like, okay, that's it, game. Hasn't got a breaker anymore. He's like half to full screen away, GG. And then he makes the read, and then he makes the good play, but the drop.
I actually agree with him sticking for demolition. I think opting to change to cover ops would be a bad idea. I do strongly think that Piercing will do an absolutely fine job against cover ops variations.
But again,
I think Demo, it just at least give you those neutral tools. Every time we're seeing MrAquary get hit, it's coming off of those grenades.
But does he even play cover ops anymore? Because every time I've seen MrAquary as of late, albeit not very regularly, but it's always demolition. I think he's definitely sort of found his new comfort zone in this variation. So I don't expect we'll see him change at all, really.
And there's that quick recovery on the low side. I mean, just getting that clean 50-50 there from Foxy Grampa. I don't think we are yet to see that ever not connect. Like that overhead off that always hits.
I mean, a 50-50 is a 50-50. It's a guessing game throughout. It's just a question of whether Foxy's going to enforce it. Really, you have to get a read on, yes, it's a guess, but is he going to do it? Is he even going to risk it? Because I'm saying, if he's got a breaker, it is truly a mix-up, like at all times. But as soon as he hasn't got a breaker, it becomes a little bit less attractive of an option.
Has to go in for the reload. Nice. He's going to bag himself 3 grenades. Detonates one early. Good grab from Foxy. Again, looking kind of bad for MrAquary. Tries to go for the ball roll, so I like that option. If he goes for the dive kick, ball roll's going to whiff, so you're safe. And if he doesn't go for it, then it would have him clean. Match point, Foxy Grampa.
He's 1 round away from making yet another grand finals. I mean, this really is Foxy's... Again, it's Foxy's league. He's #1 seed again. Just a truly phenomenal player. But again, MrAquary has beaten him not too long ago. So if he has to bring it out, he has 2 games and a round to even tie it up at this point.
This is a good way to start it. Spend those grenades, get damage.
No.
This is that's actually the first time we've seen MrAquary get that combo drop. And it's probably one of the most costly situations where you can't drop that combo. And again, Foxy gets tagged. Can't go for the safe reload though because it didn't tag him all the way. Dive kick just shut it down. Once again, dive kick again
and
to cover
another 50-50. MrAquary gets hit by it again, but he just can't get any grenades. Foxy Grampa is just completely robbing him of this from the fly. Some players, it takes them a little while, but Foxy Grampa
looking kind of hard for him to survive, and he's going to go in just like that, straight in with the back 1-2. Foxy's going to go for the fatality as well, and there you go, classic stuff. Ultimate MK3.
I mean, 3-0 is a really good way to really reply to losing to someone in the tournament, you know? Really replying with, okay, you beat me before, but I used to beat you 3 straight games. No problem. And just like that, he's now got that momentum again. Foxy is once again thinking to himself, another opponent that beat me, that I've defeated again. That's the thing. It's really hard to beat Foxy in tournament twice. Very rarely do we see it happen, but he's one of the best players I've seen at adapting on the fly. Some players, it takes them a little while, but Foxy Grampa just gets you like that, especially now, obviously, we made the change to 3 out of 5 through most tournaments worldwide. That has helped someone like Foxy really well, who just thrives on being able to download you as fast as possible.
I think the change to 3 out of 5 is always very useful, especially when you're a player that kind of needs time to change things up. And I think in that situation where Foxy, I mean, every time he loses in a tournament, he does his homework. I mean, no matter what the setting is. If
so you should, really. So
if it's a small tournament, if it's a major tournament, it doesn't matter. He's going to go home and he's going to study what did I do wrong there, what happened, and how can I rectify this. Now, it's pretty much like he's one of the strongest players, I think, at playing off what the opponent does. Like, he'll pretty much spend the entire game kind of sitting in that jump distance, and he's going to wait for you to do something. He's going to harass you with size. He's going to make you get aggressive and try and come in. And every time you do that, he's instantly going to answer back with something and then enforce some kind of mix-up. I mean, it seems so basic on paper, the way Foxy uses Molina. It's back 1-2. How do you handle back 1-2? How do you handle the zoning of the size? And it's such a basic game plan, but works to such strong effect. I mean, MrAquary did have a couple of moments of greatness there. I mean, even we saw that in the replay, the instant grenade toss to challenge the back 1-2, but it feels like to beat Foxy in tournament, I think you really need to be doing all of these things right all of the time. There is no room for error.
Well, that's the thing about fighting Molina. If you really dominate your opponent with Molina, you make it look like your opponent has no idea how to play the game. But if you lose with Molina, it's because you've guessed wrong on 50-50s, or your staggers haven't gone to work. So if you lose with Molina playing like this, it makes you look like you're just not playing very well at all. But if you win with it, it makes your opponent look terrible at the game. It's just one of those situations.
It's quite a double-edged sword, really, isn't it?
I mean, something I really wanted to point out is, let's think back to Season 1. Foxy Grampa, Kung Lao just rampage with the entire duration of the weeklies we had in Season 1. So what did we see? We saw loads of Kung Lao players start placing in the league and start playing the character. Not really happening again with Season 3. We're not really seeing that many Molina players try and make the cut, in EU especially.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. We haven't seen as many Molinas on the EU, but while